guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all well. I'm Andrea and this is Beauty with Andrea. So today I just want to do a talk through about this So Lush eyeshadow palette, and I think the company, yeah, it's called Labelle. It says Labelle Makeup Limited, and it says that it contains no animal ingredients and not tested on animals, and I believe this is by an indie brand. I got it last summer, so I don't have too many details about it, but I have been really enjoying using it. So there are all the eyeshadows in there, and they're really vibrant. I've used every single eyeshadow in here apart from that one, that matte kind of plum shade in the shade Desire. So I'm just going to talk to you about these eyeshadows and give you a few swatches. So I used this one as a transition shade. It's a shame they didn't have a lighter shade as a brow bone highlight. So I had to use my Tarte eyeshadow palette for that, but you know, I mean, they're not the creamiest eyeshadows I've ever used. As you can see, I'm having to try and blend them pretty well, but they're not the worst either, and the palette wasn't that expensive from what I can remember. I think it was between £10 and £15. I'll try and get the price and leave it here somewhere. So that one is in the shade Nude, and then we've got another matte here which is in the shade Cocoa, and I use this to deepen out my V. So that's that one there. They do blend out really well. Like I said, it's not the worst eyeshadow palette in the world. And then there's the shade Desire, which I never used. The formula on them though isn't very smooth. So that's Desire, and it's actually lighter than it looks in the palette, which is good. The next one is Fine Wine. I did use this one, and this one feels even smoother than the others. There's a lot of fallout with them, so you would need to put these on before you actually put your like base makeup on, which isn't a big deal, I don't think. And then the next one, I wore this a lot, Bahamas. I think it's really nice, and it's a nice orange tone shade. So that's that one. The next one is Delta Chick. So that's the first shimmer shadow we're coming to on this top row. That's that one there. And then we have Space, which is also another shimmer. I was a bit nervous about using this shade, if I'm being honest. I'm going to swatch that here because I'm running out of arm space. But that's eyeshadow that is really lovely. So that's what they look like. So that's the first row. So I'm going to wipe those off because I have no arm space. And I'll do the second row, which you get more shimmers in. I don't think it's a bad palette for the price. It's just a lot of these eyeshadows are quite patchy. So this one here is one of my favourites. It's Baby Boo, and I used it for an inner corner highlight. It is so smooth. So they did get the formula right on that. Then we have Lust, which is that shade there. It's like a rosy pink shade. So that's that one there. Then we have Midnight. There was a lot of fallout with this shade, I remember, but it really looked pretty on the eye. Look, you can see all the fallout. I'm hoping you can anyway. But I do like the fine particles of glitter in it. Then we have SOS, which is that shade there. that shade is not a very good one. There's hardly any pigmentation to it. This one here is my favourite shimmer in the palette. It's called Sunset. Really, really, really pretty. I love it. So that's Sunset there. And what I used to do is I used to use Nude as a transition shade, and then I'd go in with Bahamas just underneath the transition. Then I'd go in with Sunset all over the lid, and it looked amazing. So the next one is Ivy. Really, really pretty as well. They're just really, really crumbly, guys. So if you do actually get this palette, just be aware of how crumbly they are. And then the last one is this one here, which is Rude Boy, which is a matte deep green. I'm going to put this one here. As you can see, it is quite crumbly. But what I used to do, well, I say used to do it, I've only used the palette for a week. What I did is, because I don't use mattes all over the eyelid and I wanted to test it out, I used this all over the eyelid, and then I went in with the shade Ivy. I'll just show you what it looks like. And it just looked really, 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 really pretty. But that's all the shades from the bottom row. So you get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. You get 14 eyeshadows in total. I'm going to try and link the website in the description, just in case you want to see what they have on their website, because all their products haven't been tested on animal, which I think is really good. And yeah, you might want to check out the palette for yourself. It's not sponsored or anything like that, I wish. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a bad palette. I am going to keep it in my collection for a little while longer and rotate it in my collection. But I think eventually I will be getting rid of it, just because the eyeshadows are quite patchy and powdery and things like that. It could be the length of time I've had it. It does say, doesn't say, oh, you're supposed to 24 months. I've not had it 24 months yet. I've not even had it a year yet, so that must be just how the shadows are. You get 14 times 1 grams of shadows in each shadow. So yeah, I mean, I do think it's worth at least trying if you like those kind of shades. But yeah, this is just kind of a little review, swatch, my thoughts on what I think about the palette. I don't have anything else from Labelle, so I know that they do lipsticks and other cosmetics there, so I've never tried anything like that. It's just this palette. I saw this on Tammy Clark's. Tammy Clark was doing a look with it and it looked really nice, so I thought that I'd give it a try. I'm glad I've tried it, but I wouldn't recommend it as a good palette. I mean, you can get drugstore palettes better than this from Revolution, so I would recommend them over this. But if you did want to try it, I will leave the link down below for the company. I'll try and find the website, and yeah, that's what the palette looks like. I actually think Juvia's Place palettes are nicer than this. The texture of the eyeshadows are nicer. I mean, there are some shades in here that are nice. Like my favourites in here are Nude, Bahamas, Ivy, Sunset, Lust and Baby Boo. So it's not a complete waste of time. It's just, you know, it is what it is, basically. But yeah, that's the palette, and that's my thoughts on it, and I'll see you in my next video. If you've not already subscribed, please think about subscribing. It would mean so much to me. Just hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.